You're filthy.
And Jesse, don't you think having a bunch of kids on our date is kind of going to kill the mood?
Oh, I didn't mean to give it away.
I just can't believe it.
Daddy, you don't have to make a lot of noise to get pregnant.
Yeah, Timmy's the boss. Boss man, Timmy's the boss. Boss man.
Did you know that some of Hollywood's brightest stars hid dark secrets that ultimately led to their tragic ends? From shocking scandals to heart-wrenching tragedies, let's dive into the lives of 12 actors who will never grace our screens again.
He sent the police after us and the army and everything.
Michael, don't exaggerate.
How does the beloved child star from Disney's Mary Poppins end up facing a tragic end far from the magic of the silver screen? Matthew Garber, the charming young boy who played Michael Banks in the classic Mary Poppins, captured the heart of millions with his innocent smile and enchanting performance.
We better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky.
Born in London in 1956, he quickly rose to fame in the 1960s. Despite his early success, Garber's life took a dark turn as he grew older. Rumors swirled about his struggles with substance abuse and a rebellious streak that estranged him from his family and the industry. By the time he was 21, Garber was tragically diagnosed with pancreatitis, a condition that took his life in 1977.
I remember his mum, Margot, calling to let us know that Matthew had died. That was so unexpected and very sad. And then, of course, with anybody's death comes regret and sorrow. I wished I had picked up the phone over the years. I wished I had treated him more like a brother. But he's indelibly printed in all of our minds. He's eternal from those pictures, and Mary Poppins especially.
Garber will forever be remembered as the lovable Michael Banks. His estimated net worth at the time of his death is still uncertain. His early departure remains a poignant reminder of a talent lost too soon.
What's your name?
Freddie Jones.
Freddie Jones. Shut up.
Shut the hell up, Schneebly.
Kevin Clark, known for his role as Freddie Jones in School of Rock, brought infectious energy and undeniable talent to the screen. Born in Chicago in 1988, Clark's drumming skills made him stand out in the beloved film. Despite his promising start, Clark's career didn't take off as expected. He faced numerous personal challenges, including legal issues and struggles with mental health. In a heartbreaking twist, Clark was struck and killed by a vehicle while biking in Chicago in 2021 at the age of 32.
Kevin Clark was in a good place. He was excited about the days to come in his life, but today would be his last day.
The driver of the vehicle involved in the accident faced legal consequences, including charges related to Clark's death. The incident led to discussions about road safety and the responsibilities of drivers and cyclists.
Planters, bollards, physical separation so that cars and bicyclists aren't sharing the same little space.
Change needs to happen.
Clark's death elicited a strong emotional response from fans and the public, with many expressing shock and sadness.
Kevin's heart was so big, so young, and so full of life, and for this to happen.
There's not a single musician in this area that didn't know who Kevin Clark was or hadn't played with him.
He was one of the best music teachers I've had. He's a really fun guy to jam with.
There was also some criticism about how media outlets covered his death, with concerns about privacy and the portrayal of the accident. Clark's legacy is cherished by fans.
All these people are here. It's amazing. It's really amazing. He would be, I don't know if he'd be embarrassed or thrilled. I'm not quite sure.
Known for his drumming prowess and unforgettable role, his net worth was approximately $500,000 at the time of his death.
That's it. This relationship is over.
Born in 1999, Cameron Boyce rose to fame as a charismatic actor in Disney Channel's Jessie and Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
Everybody say the pirate password. Yo ho ho!
His talent and charm earned him a dedicated fan base and numerous accolades. Behind the scenes, Boyce was known for his philanthropy and positive influence. However, his sudden death in 2019 at just 20 years old shocked the world.
Obviously, if I ever thought that he could die from a seizure, I would have never let him out of my sight, which would have been awful for him.
Boyce passed away in his sleep due to a seizure caused by epilepsy, a condition he had been privately battling.
The night he passed away, we were out to dinner with him just hours before. Somewhere between the last text he sent me in the morning, he was gone. It's not cliche to say, you never know.
You never know.
We also had this thing where they wired his head up and had this contraption on to try and capture brain activity. Nothing ever showed.
I've been giving him Ativan for the seizures. Hannah, get the Keppra. I got an airway kit ready. I think we need to intubate. Hold on.
After Boyce's death, there was a controversy regarding the media's handling of his passing. Some critics felt that the coverage was invasive and lacked respect for his privacy and his family. Boyce's death prompted discussions about epilepsy awareness and the need for better medical support for individuals with such conditions. This included calls for increased awareness and understanding of epilepsy to prevent similar tragedies. Cameron Boyce was widely remembered and celebrated for his contributions to entertainment and his positive influence on fans and peers alike.
And I'll never forget that day. And I remember all of us were just overwhelmed in thinking that he was just the happiest, most beautiful soul. And that no matter what, his soul will live on forever in his legacy because he's loved by so many and had the most selfless heart, and his legacy is living on.
His family and fans have continued to honor his memory through various tributes and charitable efforts.
And the Cameron Boyce Foundation, Wielding Peace, that his family is so courageously and so beautifully pouring their hearts into.
Boyce's legacy is marked by his impactful roles and humanitarian efforts. At his passing, his net worth was estimated at $5 million.
You're single and you're pregnant. It's probably on the bestseller list.
Well, I thought it might, help.
Next up on our list, Dana Plato, the girl next door, who won hearts as Kimberly Drummond on Different Strokes.
Who you calling little brother, short-haired sister?
Willis, you're only taller by an afro.
She had it all, or so it seemed. Born in 1964, she skyrocketed to fame in the late 70s and early 80s, living what looked like the Hollywood dream. Behind the scenes, it was anything but.
Yeah, and also, a severe alcoholic, which is something that I live with every single day.
Dana's battles with addiction weren't a secret. They were front-page news. But instead of getting the help she needed, she became tabloid fodder.
Well, one of the things that really triggered it in me was when I did your show, and I had all these people listening and the cameras in my face. And if you notice, I never once said everything's all right, because it wasn't all right. And it really forced me to take a look at myself. And I was lying. I was lying to everybody.
With financial woes and a career in freefall, it seemed like the world was watching her crash and burn. Dana's life spiraled into chaos with drugs, booze, and run-ins with the law. It's like the fame that made her a star also became her downfall. And the media, they were more than happy to dig into the dirt, often at the expense of her humanity. Sensational headlines and scandalous stories overshadowed her real struggles, painting a picture of Dana that was more caricature than reality. Critics were quick to call out the press for exploiting her pain, but by then, the damage was done. Her career never recovered from the downward spiral. Instead of being remembered for her acting, Dana became a cautionary tale, a tragic example of how fame can turn on you in a heartbeat. By the time she hit 34, she was gone, lost forever to an overdose of painkillers and muscle relaxants that the authorities called a suicide. But was it really? This scandalous end only exposed the darker underbelly of child stardom, where dreams go to die. At the time of her death, Dana Plato's net worth was a shocking $1,000. That's right, just $1,000. Sad footnote to a life that had once been so promising.
Give me that bloody page. No! Jerry's a good person and Timmy's not gonna let you hurt her.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more tragic, here comes Josh Ryan Evans. Born in 1982, he wowed everyone as Timmy on Passions.
Timmy! That's right, Tabitha. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. Poor Grace. Poor Grace.
Despite his small stature, his talent was massive. But, like many bright stars, his life was cut short far too soon. Here's where things get complicated. Josh dealt with serious health issues due to a genetic disorder. While he was shining as Timmy, some critics felt that the show exploited his condition, turning his character into a stereotype. But Josh was all in, proud of his work. Still, it sparked debates about media representation. Then, in a heartbreaking twist, Josh passed away on August 5th, 2002, at just 20 years old during a medical procedure. The eerie part? His death coincided almost exactly with Timmy's exit on the show.
Timmy needs to sleep.
Despite it all, Josh Ryan Evans left an unforgettable mark. Fans still cherish his unique talent and the joy he brought to passions, with tributes pouring in, celebrating the light he brought to a world that didn't deserve him.
Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, so the itsy-witsy spider crawled up the water spout.
Judith Barcy, born 1978, was the unforgettable talent behind iconic characters like Ducky from The Land Before Time.
Me? I'm a long neck too, see? And I have a long tail like you.
And Anne-Marie in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Goodbye, Charlie. I love you.
She was just getting started, on the verge of superstardom, but no one knew the real story behind those innocent eyes. At only 10 years old, Judith and her mother were brutally murdered by her own father in 1988, a tragedy that sent shockwaves through Hollywood and shattered the hearts of everyone who grew up loving her work. This wasn't just another crime story splashed across the news. It ripped open the ugly truth about a system that failed to protect an innocent child. People started asking hard questions. How much did authorities know? Could something have been done before it was too late? Judith's death was more than a headline. It was a heartbreaking wake-up call about the horrors of domestic violence and child abuse. Her voice still echoes in the movies we cherish. But her tragic end serves as a painful reminder of the lives lost to the silence surrounding abuse. At the time of her death, she earned $500,000, but no amount of money could save her from the nightmare she was trapped in.
No one even asked me if I took the milk money that time. I just got a 3-day vacation.
River Phoenix, born 1970, gained fame with his role in Stand By Me and quickly became one of Hollywood's most promising young talents. Phoenix struggled with drug addiction, and in 1993, he died of a drug overdose outside the Viper Room in Los Angeles. He was only 23 years old, and his death sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Phoenix's death was attributed to a combination of heroin and cocaine.
I feel there's a theme.
Xanax, Valium, Vicodin, Percodan, Percocet, drug after drug after pill after pill after pill, smoking pot, drinking alcohol, snorting cocaine, snorting heroin.
He ingested a quantity of drug that appeared to be heroin and cocaine in powder form. It appears that it was snorted, and the reaction was almost immediate.
Leading to discussions about drug use and addiction among young celebrities. His death highlighted the challenges and pressures faced by those in the spotlight and sparked controversies about substance abuse. The media coverage of Phoenix's death was intense, with some criticism about how the details of his drug use and personal life were reported. There was also concern about the impact of such sensational coverage on his family and fans. The Viper Room, the nightclub where Phoenix overdosed, became a focal point of controversy. There were questions about the club's role and whether it should have been held accountable for events that occurred on its premises. Phoenix's legacy is marked by his remarkable talent and tragic end. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $5 million.
You know about this stuff. I want to do something good for humanity.
How about sterilization?
My name's Alex. So, I hear you're a real dope rapper.
As far as having a New Year's resolution, I'd love to have a child next year.
We just cannot forget about Brittany Murphy. She charmed audiences with her roles in Clueless, 8 Mile, and Just Married.
You wanted it!
I'm sorry.
And her career was on a steady rise. But behind the scenes, Britney's life was far more complicated. Rumors swirled about her health, rapid weight loss, and turbulent relationship with her husband, Simon Monjack, a controversial figure in her life. In December 2009, Britney's sudden death at 32 shocked the world. Officially, it was due to pneumonia, anemia, and prescription drugs. But the unexpected nature of her passing sparked countless rumors.
Actress Brittany Murphy has died. Authorities in Los Angeles say the 32-year-old star collapsed in the bathroom of her home and died of what appear to be natural causes. An autopsy is planned.
Developing story tonight out of Los Angeles. Actress Brittany Murphy has died after going into cardiac arrest at her home this morning. Murphy was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center where she was pronounced dead on arrival.
Was it drug abuse, foul play, or something more sinister? The mystery deepened when Monjack died just 5 months later under similar circumstances.
There are still obviously many questions surrounding the death of Brittany Murphy.
These celebrities, despite all the achievements that they have in their career.
Murphy's death was also surrounded by speculation regarding her living conditions and personal life. There were reports of her struggling with various health issues and the state of her home, which some argued might have impacted her health.
The entertainment world is stunned by the loss of this seemingly healthy young actress whose life was abruptly cut short.
Investigators with the LA County Coroner's Office enter the Hollywood Hills home that Brittany Murphy shared with her husband. According to the coroner, they found nothing that would explain Murphy's untimely death.
We're conducting a death investigation. We requested the assistance of LAPD.
Coroner Ed Winter has said that it appears Murphy died of natural causes, that there are no signs of foul play. That means there is no homicide investigation. But the question still remains, why did this 32-year-old woman collapse and die?
The results showed that an iron deficiency, pneumonia, as well as the multiple drug intoxication were ruled as the cause.
Now to the latest Hollywood mystery. The husband of actress Brittany Murphy has been found dead just 5 months after her own passing.
Simon Monjack was best known simply for being married to Brittany Murphy. Now he has followed her into death in an eerily similar way.
Speculation included everything from toxic mold in their home to possible poisoning. Theories that continue to intrigue and haunt fans.
Simon did request that no autopsy be done. And sometimes that's an indicator that somebody doesn't want you to find out what they had in their system.
We know he was a screenwriter, but he had not written anything of note. We also know that some claim that he just squandered his family fortune trying to produce this movie. We also know that he had 2 warrants out for his arrest, both in Virginia for credit card fraud, and he also had $1 million judgment that was levied against him by a British investment firm. And a former fiance claimed that he had given her a phony diamond engagement ring. She claims, in fact, that she tried to warn Brittany Murphy about him.
Murphy's net worth was approximately $10 million at her death.
Whoa, hey, what am I supposed to do with these? Run.
Jonathan Brandis, born 1976, became a teen idol with roles in Sequest DSV, The Neverending Story 2, and Ladybugs.
I see. So as soon as there's a computer problem, I'm back in favor?
Despite his early success, Brandis struggled with the transition to adult roles and depression. In 2003, he took his own life at the age of 27. His death was a stark reminder of the pressures faced by young actors in Hollywood. The suddenness of Brandis's death led to an outpouring of media attention and public speculation. The media coverage often focused on his troubled personal life and career struggles, which some felt was insensitive. Before his death, Brandis had experienced a decline in his acting career, which led to speculation about his mental health and personal struggles. There were discussions about the pressures of fame and the challenges faced by child actors as they transitioned into adulthood. Brandis's death highlighted issues related to mental health, particularly among young actors. It led to increased discussions about the need for better mental health support and resources for individuals facing similar struggles. Brandis's net worth was estimated at $400,000 at his death. He is remembered for his boyish charm and the tragedy of his untimely end.
Hello, Grandpa. I just flew in from Cleveland. And your arms are very tired.
Sawyer Sweeten, born in 1995, was known for his role as Jeffrey Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond. Alongside his twin brother, he became a household name. Sweeten struggled with depression and personal issues after the show ended. In 2015, he took his own life.
On April 23rd, Sawyer Sweeten, who was best known as Jeffrey on Everybody Loves Raymond, killed himself. He was only 19.
He had, more conversations, had a conversation with his brother.
Came back from Texas?
No, this is before leaving. He did not return from Texas.
He killed himself in Texas?
Yes, sir.
Where in Texas?
Austin.
In a house, in a room?
My sister's home.
What did he do?
He shot himself.
Sweeten's death brought increased attention to mental health issues, particularly among young people and child actors. His passing sparked conversations about the pressures and challenges faced by those in the entertainment industry.
Unfortunately, it's not. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for young people in our country, aged 10 to 24 years of age. So we do know that this happens. Young people typically don't die, and when they do die, it is by their own hand.
The media coverage of his death was extensive, with some criticism regarding the sensitivity of reporting and the focus on the details of his private life. There were concerns about how his family was treated by the media during their time of grief.
Was this a media story?
Unfortunately, yes.
Who picked it up? Tabloids?
Yeah, trash TV, trash tabloids, yeah.
How did that doubly make it worse for you?
It made it very difficult because, we got out of the Hollywood scene. We moved out of that. It wasn't a part of our life anymore, and it wasn't a part of Sawyer's life. And so, they took this. This is someone's child, and I didn't even have time to inform family or loved ones. They found out, online and in ways that family and close friends shouldn't find out.
Fans and colleagues of Sweeten expressed shock and sadness over his death, and there were efforts to honor his memory. His passing also led to discussions about the need for support systems for individuals dealing with mental health issues. Sweeten's net worth was approximately $2 million at his death. He is remembered for his role in a beloved sitcom and the sorrow of his passing.